Before we begin the story, write in the comments which part of the world you're watching from. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday. I bought her a gift. Vanya came home from work in a cheerful mood. We'd been invited. Natasha and Ivan had been married for nearly a year, but from the very start, things hadn't gone well with her mother-in-law. Maria Ivanovna was convinced this girl wasn't good enough for her son. He was studying international relations, a future diplomat with, in her opinion, a brilliant future ahead. And next to him, just an ordinary girl from Akrishkyevka, working as a school teacher. Maria Ivanovna had opposed the wedding until the very end. But when her son threatened to drop out of university if they weren't allowed to marry, she had no choice but to agree for his own good. She always did things for the greater good. She made her husband work 2 jobs for the greater good. She brewed moonshine and sold it for the greater good. She forced her son to study a profession he hated, again, for the greater good. Ivan had dreamed of becoming a designer. Maria Ivanovna was a tough, strong-willed woman. You couldn't call her stingy, but getting an extra kopeck out of her was near impossible. Ivan was the first to ever challenge the will of the true head of the household. Because yes, Maria Ivanovna was the head. His father, Vasily Kuzmin, was afraid of her and secretly called her Boyarinya Morozova. She was a large woman with piercing dark eyes. "Happy birthday, Mom," Ivan said, hugging her tightly as she opened the door. "Wishing you happiness, good health, and everything your heart desires. Thank you, son." "What I desire most is never to see your wife again," the mother-in-law cut coldly. "I think I'll go," Natasha whispered, quietly taking her coat back off the rack. "Not so fast. You, to the kitchen. You, set the table." Maria Ivanovna barked. "You think I'm going to do this alone? The guests will be here any minute, and I've got nothing ready. You could have at least come earlier." Natasha glanced regretfully at her expensive manicure, realizing she'd have to redo it after tonight. She hoped her husband would say something in her defense, but instead, he simply smiled sheepishly at his mother. "Natash, please don't go," Ivan said, "for my sake. Let's not ruin Mom's celebration." "Fine, Vanya. Just for you," she sighed. Off to the kitchen, the mother-in-law said, practically shoving Natasha inside. "The room already thick with the smell of cooking. Start with frying the cutlets. Then slice the cheese and sausage. After that, take everything to the table." "But Mom, I'm wearing an evening dress," Natasha protested. "You could strip down to your underwear for all I care. No one's looking at you anyway, though." "Fine, I'll bring you something to change into." Ivan stepped into the kitchen, looking guilty. "Go on, get out of here." His mother waved him off. "You'll stink like grease. What'll the guests say?" "And I won't stink." Natasha wanted to snap back, but Ivan's pleading look silenced her. "I just need a quick word with Natasha, Mom," he said. Maria Ivanovna left. "Natasha, my love, please endure tonight," he whispered. "Mom promised to give me money for a new car. I've been dreaming about that white Ford. Please, for me." He hugged and kissed her. "Where am I going to go now?" she replied. "Just for you and your Ford. Why did I even spend so much to look good tonight? I could have just shown up in a bathrobe." "Please," he repeated quietly. Natasha was a calm woman, hard to shake. "Just hold on a little longer," Ivan said. "I'll go talk to Dad." As soon as he left, Maria Ivanovna barged in with an old pair of pants and a worn-out t-shirt. "Here, get changed, stop acting like royalty, and get moving. You don't have much time," she commanded. "So this is what Vanya dragged me here for," thought Natasha. He must have known I'd be the maid tonight. Clenching her teeth, she changed and got to work. An hour flew by. Natasha cooked, fried, chopped. Almost everything was ready. She was carefully plating salads. Natasha had always been a good cook. Her mother worked a lot, And Natasha had grown up fast. She never knew her father. Guests started arriving. Laughter and greetings filled the hallway. Maria Ivanovna smiled as she welcomed them, while Natasha quietly chopped the last of the salad. Her styled hair had gone limp. Her makeup melted from sweat. She had to wash her face. The beauty she had prepared to be for the evening had become a forgotten Cinderella in the kitchen. "Are you done in here?" The mother-in-law snapped, finally peeking in. "Here's a white apron. Set the table." "Can't anyone help me?" Natasha asked, irritated. "Can't you see everyone's busy though? And wash the glasses." Natasha blushed with anger. "Hurry up," Maria Ivanovna urged. "I'd like to freshen up a little," Natasha said quietly. "What for? You're not sitting at the table. You'll eat in the kitchen. Someone has to clear the dishes." Natasha was speechless with outrage, but she told herself, "We'll get that new car Vanya dreams of. If he's happy, I'll be happy." Yet deep down, she made a firm decision. She would never set foot in her mother-in-law's house again. After laying out the dishes she'd managed to finish, Natasha sighed and stepped into the hall. The table was set with a pristine white cloth. Over 20 guests had gathered. Maria Ivanovna was celebrating her 50th birthday. Her spacious home could have fit even more people. Maria Ivanovna, the star of the show, saw Natasha enter and immediately started giving orders. "Put the cutlets here. Move the Olivier closer to Vasily Fyodorovich. He loves it. We need more cucumbers and tomatoes." "Natasha, you're hopeless. The table's practically empty." "Yes, Maria Ivanovna," Natasha said, swallowing. Another wave of humiliation dawned at last. The table was set. The guests drank, laughed, toasted. Natasha sat silently on a stool in the kitchen. From the mirror on the wall, a young, beautiful woman looked back, with a tired face and sweat on her brow. After 20 minutes, she gathered herself and decided to call her husband, who seemed to have forgotten she existed. Peeking into the hall, she locked eyes with the sharp gaze of Maria Ivanovna. The mother-in-law sat near the kitchen door, clearly monitoring every move Natasha made. "What do you want?" she barked. "Can I talk to Ivan for a minute?" Natasha asked. "He doesn't have time for you. Go." She snapped and even tried to push Natasha back toward the kitchen. But Natasha managed to look around the room and froze. Her Vanya, clearly tipsy, was whispering into the ear of a pretty brunette. The girl had her hand resting casually on his knee, flashing a perfect white smile. She wore a tight white silk dress and a gleaming gold necklace. "Who's that, Masha?" asked a nearby woman. "Oh, just hired help for the evening," Maria Ivanovna said casually. Natasha nearly fainted. Back in the kitchen, the mother-in-law grabbed her by the arm. "Pack your things and leave. My son doesn't love you anymore. He filed for divorce 3 days ago. Make a scene, and I'll call the police and say you stole money from me. By the way, there's $500 in your purse. That's for your services. Take it and go quietly, or stay and become a thief." Natasha stared at the floor, trembling. "Here's your dress," Maria Ivanovna sneered, tossing it like a rag. "You have 10 minutes, or I'm calling the cops." She set a timer on her phone. Natasha froze for a moment. Then a strange calm came over her. Let it be what it will, she thought, and began changing. "May I use the bathroom to tidy up?" she asked. Seeing her calmness, Maria Ivanovna softened slightly. 5 minutes. Natasha touched up her lipstick, adjusted her hair, and came out. "Time to say goodbye," she said coolly. "Good riddance," replied Maria Ivanovna. Natasha gave a smile, sharper than usual. "I'll just say goodbye to my husband." She brushed past the stunned woman and entered the hall. Ivan stood up as he saw her. "Enjoy the party, dear guests," Natasha announced. Then, with one swift motion, she yanked the tablecloth. Dishes crashed to the floor. She turned, walked out, and slammed the door, never to return to that family again.